Hey guys, welcome into WagerTalk TV. The NHL season is almost here, and that means puck time is back. Of course, I am Andrew. I have Carmine with me, and we are breaking down NHL divisional futures. We've got to make the playoff props. We've got season point totals, player futures, and much more. If you like this content at WagerTalk TV, please be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and comment to let us know what you think about each division. Let's not waste any time. Let's dive right into the Atlantic Division. Mr. Carmine Bianco, I am pumped for NHL, man. What do you have for us to start things off for a season point total under/over in the Atlantic Division?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hockey is coming back, so I'm looking forward to another great season. But let's get going. Listen, in the Atlantic, when I looked this one over, the one that stuck out to me was the Boston Bruins. I get it. The Bruins had a fantastic season last year. Nobody expected it. It was an outlier of a season, but regression's going to hit this team. They lose their top two centermen. This division has gotten tougher. This conference has gotten tougher. And their point total is set at 101.5. They're begging you to take the over. I'm taking the under. Under 101.5 points for the Boston Bruins this season, minus 120.
All right, looking at the under for the Bruins on their points, I'm going to go with another team under that's been great for many, many years. The Tampa Bay Lightning under 100.5 points. They had 110 last year. But as you spoke about, Carm, this division's getting more and more competitive, and I feel like we're going to get a lot more competitive games from the bottom feeder teams like Detroit, even Montreal, and of course the Buffalo Sabres are working their way up. And if that's the case, we'll see a lot less points for the guys at the top of the standings. I'll take Tampa Bay under 100 points. What do you have for make or miss the playoffs, Carm, in the Atlantic Division?
Oh man, those people south of the border in Buffalo, where my favorite team, the Sabres, reside, are going to hate me for this one. But the Sabres are going to miss the playoffs. The price on them is minus 110, which is a good price on this prop. But listen, this is a team that is improving. They're getting better, but this division is super tough. A lot of very good teams on there, and they just can't be as bad as they were last season defensively, night in and night out. They scored a bunch of goals, but they were allowing a bunch of goals, and I still think they're a year away from taking that next step and making the playoffs. So I'm going to take the Sabres to miss the playoffs, minus 110.
Hey, there's no fandom when it comes to betting. So Carm's a Buffalo fan. He's taking them to miss the playoffs this year. Carm, last year I talked so much smack about the Boston Bruins, and they went on and had a historic season. So what logical thing is there to do but to take them to miss the playoffs this season? I'm going right back to it at plus 210. As I mentioned, this conference and this division is going to be, I think, a hell of a lot more competitive this year than it was last season. At plus 210, I'm looking at that depth chart for the Bruins. It's not as deep as it once was. You lose Bergeron, you lose Taylor Hall. They will not be the same team next season as they were last year. At plus 210, I'll take them to miss. What do you have for us for a season-long player prop in the Atlantic Division?
Yeah, when we look at these player props, Andrew, the one that stood out to me was going back to the Sabres, Tage Thompson. Listen, Thompson had a great season last year for the Sabres, 47 goals scored, and his number is set because of that. It's set at 43.5, but with me looking at them not to make the playoffs this season and him far exceeding the number they thought they would get last year, I just can't see him getting at 43.5. That's such a big number in a division, again, where there are some very good defensive teams. I just don't see him getting anywhere close to 43.5. I think it's probably 3 goals higher than it should be. Probably should be at about 40.5 for him. So I'm going to take under 43.5 for Tage Thompson, total regular season goals.
Yeah, he's a great player, but that is a big, big number. I'm going for more of a smaller number here and going over 20 goals here for Matthew Knies of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He made his debut pretty much in the playoffs for the Maple Leafs. A younger player, but a bigger player, a guy that definitely has size, not afraid to go into the corners. And he made an immediate impact on that Toronto Maple Leafs playoff series and the playoff run that they had. For him to get 20-plus goals at plus 165, I think is a great price. He'll be a crucial part of that top 6 and a big part of the Maple Leafs this upcoming season. What do you have for us overall for a future, Carm? Is it to win the conference, win the Stanley Cup? What do you think about this division as a whole?
Yeah, Andrew, when we look at these divisions in each of the videos that we're going to do, I'm going to give you the team I think offers the best value to win the cup. So obviously I'm going to give you 4 different teams, 4 different divisions, but I'll explain to you why. And I'm going to take Florida Panthers here, plus 1,600, a team that eked into the playoffs last year, but won the President's Trophy the previous year. They finally came together last couple of weeks of the season, had a great run to the Cup Finals. Unfortunately, injuries took its toll. We talked about it game in and game out leading up to the finals. This team, there's something wrong with this team from their defense to their forwards. They just were not playing as well once that cup started, I think, and then the injuries came out afterwards. If this team can stay healthy, they're going to make the playoffs. And at plus 1,600, I'm willing to sprinkle a little bit, as Kelly Stewart would say, on the Florida Panthers to make a cup run at plus 1,600.
You got to love that price on a team that went so deep last year. Carm, I didn't have it in me to do that for the Stanley Cup, but I did like the plus 500 number on them to win the Atlantic Division overall. A very deep team, great goaltender. If they can stay healthy, they will be a very competitive team in that division. That's it for our Atlantic Division futures, guys. Again, if you enjoy this content, hit the bell, hit the subscribe button on WagerTalk TV. Like this video and stay tuned for plenty more content. I'm Andrew. That's Carmine. See you guys next time.